Hello, I have a question for you, FNAF community. The question is, what makes Fazbear Frights and Tales from the Pizzaplex different from the Silver Eyes trilogy? No, I am serious. Many of you, especially with the new clues from Help Wanted 2, which show Tiger Rock and other hints to Dave and the Mimic, will likely want to answer that the difference between Tails and the Silver Eyes is that Tails is now confirmed to be canon or in timeline with the games. But is it? I'm genuinely asking, because what we got was confirmation of Tiger Rock's, plushies existence, and probably therefore also David, their existence in the games. We know basically nothing else about how the two stories intersect. And to me, in a way, this is exactly the same as when the Mimic was introduced to the games in Ruin. Like, yes, the Mimic and Tiger Rock exist in both the games and the books, though no, that does not mean the two stories are one and the same, or that they are in the same timeline. I am genuinely confused about the fandom reaction to this, and the lead up to it as well. Let's go back to Silver Eyes. Charlie, Afton, Henry, they all exist in both stories, the games and the Silver Eyes. So does the MCI and a bunch of other things. But they are not the same story, and they are not the same timeline. So, I ask again, why is Tails different? The only real difference is that the Silver Eyes came after the games, or at least a few of them. And it was clear enough, early enough, that they were different continuities, it was a sort of adaptation of the story. Tails, this time, came first, and now the same story is making its way into the games, which would make the games an adaptation of the story, if you want to talk about it in the way Gibby is talking about it. I don't think it's strictly an adaptation. I think it's just Scott experimenting with different stories and ideas with the same characters. This whole canonicity discourse is so strange to me that I feel like I needed to make this video to ask. I wrote it before Gibby's video that I watched, which made me feel less alone in my interpretation of all this information. But I still thought, maybe I can release it anyway. Because if I missed some crucial logical step in understanding why so many people feel like it's this binary choice between canon and not canon, please let me know, because I'd actually love to understand. Don't get me wrong, I'm not asking ironically, because, I don't want the games to be canon or something. I'm not gonna hide it that I think just having them in continuity is less interesting than having a different story in the games. I don't see the point of telling the same story twice. But at the same time, we could have it be in continuity and explore, a different part of the timeline. I do have faith in Steelwall and Scott to, work together actually and do something interesting. And Secret of the Mimic does look different from the books, right? There's no Jackie in the books. So either it's in continuity and it's a sequel or something else, or it's a new story that has elements in common with. Personally, I'm happy Murray exists. I feel like we need a new character, or at least it's not a bad addition. And I love the new memes. I'd be fine if the story is actually exactly the same in the games and the books. I just don't get why, this seems to be the only options that people are for or against. It feels like the fandom created a binary choice in its discourse about the books really happening or not, and they're fighting a war about it. They've been fighting a war, and this binary choice has happened in people's minds. Furthermore, why would they go back and tell us backstory that we already know just in the games now? What purpose does it serve? Personally, I believe that the books are a way for Scott to play with ideas in a risk-free way, Why should he make the books in continuity when he can decide not to and just rethink and mix around ideas like he has shown he likes to do, like with the Silver Eyes in the movie? And I think it's actually fairly unlikely. I think people are saying like, yeah, we're 99% sure now that the games are in the same continuity as this book. I think it's more like a 50-50 split still. Thanks for watching. Please let me know what you think in the comments and what I missed. Or if you feel like me and don't understand this debate at all. Bye.